Hey everyone, Iron Leopard coming at you. Now, hope everyone had a safe 4th of July. Happy 5th of July. Happy America birthday. Happy Independence Day. It represents overthrowing tyranny, freedom, all that good stuff. But I ain't here to talk about Independence Day. Y'all know what it's about. If you don't, look it up. I'm here to talk about something else. I actually had another video lined up, a topic lined up that I was going to do, but I had an incident come up that I thought might need addressing, and it's about communication. Now, there are 5 main forms of communication. Okay, you got person-to-person contact, video chatting's right up there with it, kind of, for the purpose of this topic and what I got to say. Then you got phone call, text messaging, email, and then good old-fashioned snail mail. Now, let's break them down real quick as far as effective forms of communication. That's what I want to talk about. So, the least effective form is the snail mail. Yeah, you got to wait on the postal service. The weather conditions could slow it down. The communication takes a while. So, probably not favorable if you want to get that message and have some dialogue quickly. Works for packages, not so much talking. We have technological advances, which bring us to the next one. Email. Now, email is now more of it was cool when it came out, but now it's more of a, formal thing like at work. And there's a reason for that, because there is now a documented track record of said email conversations. Very good for professional circumstances. So it's a little more formal. But we have technological advances. The phone I'm recording this video on makes the next 2 possible. Now, text messaging. That is a big one. Everyone loves being able to do it. Versus the one above it, telephone conversations. Telephone been around for a while, okay? Because of the telephone, we don't need to have a pen pal like we did way back in the 80s. Guess what? We can just talk to somebody. It's a great thing. Now, if you compare the two, as far as effective communication, obviously, well, maybe not obviously to some people, this might be news. Telephone conversations are more effective than text messaging. Reason being is you can hear the tone and inflection in my voice, and as where you can't in just typing a message. It's just words on a screen and you read it. And I'm left to interpret the words that come across on my own. Now, if I'm in a bad mood, I'm more likely to take this in a negative way. If I'm in a good mood, I'm more likely to take the message in a positive way or a more friendly, joking way. And that's not effective because I could be misinterpreting the intent of said message. Okay? Now, people have fallen more to this text messaging because it's convenient. It doesn't interrupt whatever I'm doing. Like if I'm in a group of people, I can just send a quick text message and off I go. And people don't hear me talking. They don't hear my business, which I don't like. Nobody needs to know my business. And I don't interrupt their conversations. It sounds harmless, right? Problem is if you can't tell, if I'm talking to you and we're talking about something and we have like a texting conversation, which is, at that point, you should probably just excuse yourself from whatever you're doing and step outside and make a phone call, or wait till you have time to make a phone call. But, you got some information, hey, what time am I meeting you? And you're meeting them right after whatever you're doing. That's fine. Or what's your address? Quick information, texting makes sense. You don't need to call somebody for a 1-sentence answer. But for a conversation, something to be desired is lacking. And here's why. Instance being, if I'm talking to someone and they, we're talking about some sort of subject or it bounces to another subject and suddenly touches a nerve on me or the other person. And say they say something to me and I say, hey, F you. And I just send that. Okay. The receiving person doesn't know that bothered me. They could think I'm joking and then continue the texting conversation in a joking manner. Well, that's just going to piss me off even more because they're not taking my feelings seriously. Okay? So what I'm getting at is, and then that conversation just goes beeline and becomes something else, and now we all have resentments and issues. Well, what's happening is my intention, my message, my feelings, my whatever I'm trying to convey is not being heard. My basic human need of being understood is not being met, and that's going to cause problems. So that is the problem with texting versus a phone conversation where they can hear the tone. They can hear that it bothered me. And they can be like, oh, I'm sorry, bro, I didn't know, Or they can hear that I'm joking and they can joke back. So it becomes two totally different options of a conversation. And that's huge. Now, texting has become big not just because it's a quick, easy access, but we live in a world where a lot of the social media, and we do all this stuff and typing and texting and all this stuff, and we've gotten out of touch with talking to people. And so there's a bit of fear around that, okay? I'm afraid of talking to people because I don't do it. It's not comfortable. I'm comfortable hiding here. I can respond when I want to. I don't have to get back to them when I want until I feel more comfortable doing it. Depending on the situation, that might be appropriate. But if you're just doing it because you just personally don't feel comfortable, you're sitting on the couch, you don't want to respond, that's rude. Yeah, I said it. It's rude. It's disrespectful. Okay? That's why talking to somebody over the phone is better. You have to respond. You have a conversation, blah, blah, blah. Now, the highest form of communication, and like I said, video chat is up there because it provides the same level, is person-to-person contact. Something else people are afraid of. And let me tell you, that's a problem. Because you're going to run into people at work, if you have a family, at home, at the grocery store. You got to interact with some people. I ain't talking about self-checkout. For the most part, there's people there, okay? You got to interact with people. And not that you got to make it a practice, but if you are not practiced in dealing with people, like face-to-face conversation would lend, you're in a world of hurt, man, because you're going to be uncomfortable just talking to people. So, I mean, you got to talk to your boss at some point. You got to do the interview for the job. I mean, you got to talk to people. You got to interact with them. You can't go through life without interacting with people. You really can't. There's a few extenuating circumstances, the hermit on the hill, whatever, which doesn't sound bad half the time. But I'm saying you got to interact with people, and you don't want to come across as a dick, because if you do, you're not going to get what you want out of it. You want to walk away with a peaceful thought, a peaceful mind frame. My message was received. I was heard. I heard them. Everything's fine. That's the goal of communicating. And man, it's just a scary thought that it's falling out of favor, and it's causing a lot of fear and anxiety. I mean, I'm talking like diagnosable anxiety for having to go be around people. That's insane. And all you got to do to fix it is actually have a phone call. And while doing it, you're getting your needs met, you're meeting other people's needs by clear and pointed communication, and it's just all good things that way. And it's unfortunate to see that happens. I got to tell you, 90% of arguments and heated discussions that happen in my experience, that's all through text message versus that 10% of a phone call. Because if I say something verbally that bothers somebody, I can be like, oh, hey, hang on, that's not what I meant. Maybe my words were off. Maybe I should say it better, because that's not what I was intending to say. And it can be rectified, and things can be corrected, and you can go on through the conversation. It's very simple, folks. So that's I would encourage you to, if you want clear communication, exercise these things. Don't be afraid to be in front of people. We need that. People need to be in close contact with other people. We were created that way. We are pack animals. So you're fighting your own nature. And that's why you get even more frustrated. Baseline frustration, going against the grain. So hope y'all had a safe 4th, and look forward to your comments. Let's create some dialogue about this. I'm interested to hear what you guys think about this. Check the link on in my bio, and I'll post it to this video here on the Reels. So talk to you soon.